futtock, futtock, a bracer strut that supports futtock. I'll be the first one to be accused of skipping a sailing term here and there, like sole and floor. It's a floor, but that's because I think it's all a bit unnecessary. Too many silly words to scare new people away from sailing. And most of the time the words are just words we use on boats that are stupid. But sometimes we do need to know what they are. So here's a quick and dirty list of them that you'll need to know if you're going to go on a sailboat. I'm not going to start with all the easy ones or anything like that, bow and stern. I'll mix them in if we need to. But first, apparent wind. This is actually kind of important. So let's say I want to sail from Cleveland, Ohio, across Lake Erie over to the Canadian side to Erie. I pull up Wind Finder and I see that the wind is blowing on Lake Erie from the left to the right. So as I sail across, the wind should be on my boat's back left corner. That's excellent news. We like sailing with the wind on one of the back quarters. The boat's pretty fast that way. But what about this apparent wind? Well, as the boat travels forward, it creates its own wind as it travels. So the faster we go, the more apparent wind there is. So as we charge forward with the wind on the back corner of the boat, the wind we create joins with that wind to realistically move the wind direction further forward on the boat. So the faster we go, the more pointed into the wind we get. Instead of sailing all day with wind from the back corner, it's actually going to be more on the beam, and with my luck, usually forward of the beam. This is why how well a sailboat can point is so very important. There's another term for you, pointing. That's when we try to sail into the wind. Some boats will sail 30 degrees into the wind, which is very good. Some can only manage 50 degrees into the wind. But because all boats create apparent wind as they move forward, you're sailing into the wind a lot more than you think you're going to be. And if your boat sucks at pointing into the wind, you only do like 50 degrees or something, your boat's going to suck most of the time. Our next word is tack, which is a noun and a verb. As a noun, your tack is referring to your boat's relationship to the wind as you sail. That's why we sometimes say, I'm going to change tacks, which sort of is like trying it a different way. If you're trucking along, like we would be going from Cleveland with the wind on the port side, port is left, we're on a port tack. If we were to get scared out there and turn around and go running back to Cleveland and turn the boat around, the wind is now on our starboard side. Starboard is right. We're now on a starboard tack. Your tack is important because when there are two sailboats sort of fighting for position, the boat on the starboard tack has the right of way. So you'll want to know which tack you're on. If the wind's coming over your starboard side, you're on a starboard tack. To remember port and starboard, I use the short word, long word method. Left and right. If you spell them out, left has 4 letters, right has 5. So the shorter word is left. Port and starboard, spell those out. Port is less letters to spell, which makes it make good sense to go with left. I hope that makes sense. Shorter word with shorter word. Now tack as a verb or an action. When you tack, you're changing directions through the wind by turning the boat into the wind and continuing that turn until the wind is on the whole other side of the boat. Tacking back, we would turn back up into the wind and turn all the way through it again. That's tacking, the act of tacking. But what if we turn the other way, downwind, and let that wind cross behind the boat? That's called a jibe. The same as a tack, except we're bringing the wind around the back side of the boat instead of the front. It accomplishes the same thing. We're now going the other direction with the wind on the other side of the boat. The problem with jibing is, for most boats, as the wind crosses behind the boat, it'll grab the mainsail and slam it across the boat from one side to the other at 1,000,000 miles an hour and kill everyone on board that doesn't duck under the boom as it comes across. Jibing can be dangerous, so we generally try not to jibe unless we really have to. Tacking is way better, turning the front end of the boat through the wind instead of the back, because when you tack, the boom will come across much more slowly and be much more controlled. Now, windward or leeward or leeward for some folks. I don't know why it's leeward, it's leeward. Windward is the side of the boat the wind is on. Leeward or leeward is the side of the boat the wind isn't on. When ocean sailing, if the wind is too strong out there, we often sail leeward or in the lee of an island. The island will protect us. If the wind is too light though, we would sail on the windward side of the island so it doesn't block our wind. A couple knots, the two you'll need to survive on a sailboat, but no more than two because it's realistically all you need is the two. First is a cleat hitch. This is used when docking a boat. So you're going to be tying something to a cleat. Now docking a boat can be mooring or docking or whatever you want to call it, parking. The line, oh yeah, they're not ropes on a boat, they're all lines. I don't know who made this rule, but it's kind of stupid. The line should go once around the cleat. So when the boat pulls against it really hard on that line, it's just pulling on the cleat, not on any knots that you've tied. Once you've gone around the cleat once, you can start to figure eight, crisscrossing over the cleat horns until you want to put a cleat hitch in it to secure it. You just flip the line under itself like this and then pull it tight. If you do this right, when the boat bucks and pulls on the line, it'll just pull on that cleat, trying to rip it off the dock, but not make your knot any tighter because the knot's sort of protected. That's the only goal here. Make sure the boat doesn't make the knot tighter or you'll never get the knot undone. Imagine a 15,000-pound boat in a big thunderstorm pulling on that line all night and you go to untie it the next morning. So make sure you always go once around the cleat first and then start your figure eight and put a hitch in it when you want to. The other knot you'll need to know on a boat is a bowline or a bow line or a bowline. I don't know, it's stupid. Everybody says it different. Bowline, bowline, bowline. I think I say bowline, but I'm confused now. This knot is used 99% of the time on sailboats, and all you really need to do is practice it. I can tie it one-handed now while standing on the boom under sail. Ask me how I learned how to do that. Learn the bowline as soon as you can because you're just going to use it all the time. Sail plan or float plan. This just means to tell someone where you're going and when you plan to show up. This way, if you don't show up, we know that we should come looking for you. You can file a sail plan or a float plan with your friends or family or with the coasties. But if you're going offshore, file one. Saloon. This is a big one. It's the main living area inside the boat. On a sailboat, we call it a saloon with two O's. And a power boat, it's usually called a salon with one O. The difference is literally nothing, except sailors want to feel special, so we add an O and we say saloon. Yacht. My dad used to say any boat over 25 feet is considered a yacht, but I think it's because we had a 26-footer. Google says a yacht is anything over 33 feet, or a boat with a cabin you can sleep on, so the word is just a fancy way of saying boat so we can sound rich. Now, a quick but very important set of words, trimming and telltales. Trimming is when you loosen or tighten a sail to get more performance out of the sail and thus make the boat go faster or slower. A slight trim can dramatically change the speed of the boat. And how do you know when you want to trim the line out or trim the line in? We watch the telltales. Listening to people on YouTube try to say telltale and always saying telltale is hilarious. You should try it. Telltales. Oh my God. Anyway, the telltales are little plastic streamers on the sail. If you trim the sail in too far, the wind can no longer get around the outside of the sail and the sail is acting like a giant billboard, slowing the boat down. Let the trim out until that outside telltale starts to fly again. If you let it out too far and the inside telltale will stop flying, that's not good either. We want wind on both sides of the sail. All the wind is going around the outside of the sail now. Trim back in until the telltales are both flying perfectly, the outside one and the inside one. You want equal air on both sides of the sail. Now keep trimming full time, making changes every few seconds, and you'll be a race trimmer. And just when you have it perfect and all the telltales on all the sails are flying absolutely perfectly, the helmsman will turn the boat a little bit and ruin the trim of all the sails, making you have to start over again. Once you've trimmed it all perfect, the helmsman will turn again and you can start over. This is why people yell at each other on sailboats. But if you want to trim, watch the telltales and make sure the outside and the inside ones are flying equally. I hope these silly words help you, and please know the holier-than-thou sailors that demand that you use all the right words all the time are the stupid ones. It's not you. If you want to go sailing, just go sailing. If they tell you you're doing everything wrong, buy a faster boat than them so you don't have to listen anymore. Be safe out there. Which sailing words do you know and want to share with the class? What sailing words are just stupid? Leave a comment so we can judge you too. The mission here at Lady K Sailing has always been to get more people sailing more easily with less stupid words. A huge shout out to the patrons who make this all possible so that I can make these videos. Thank you so much. If you'd like to help support the mission of getting more people sailing with me, please consider becoming a patron. Until next time, friends, keep the heavy side down, but not too far down. I love you guys.